Hey everyone, this week I wanted to talk about grieving and creating a new life and what that process is like when it's happening at the same time. I think we often think about beginnings and endings in our lives, but what we don't realize is things really aren't that clear cut. Yes, there might be a moment where somebody walks out of your life, but that grieving is still happening as you're trying to move forward. And I'm going to share a little bit more openly in this video than probably any others that I end up doing. 7.5 months ago, my mom passed away, and the years leading up to that were extremely difficult. I lived near her at the time, and I would go see her regularly. And so when I got that phone call, life really changed at that moment. It finalized what we were experiencing, but also there was no going back anymore. There was no going, that's the best way to describe it. There was no going back. She wasn't going to get better. And so there was obviously a grieving process in that. And then there was a period of time where I started to feel more normal. And as I've moved, because it's allowed me to move, I needed to go see her more than I would be able to if I lived this far away. So I moved, and I thought a lot of my grieving had been done. This might not make sense to everyone without the backstory, but you're not going to get the whole backstory. I grieved for a long time before she passed. Anyway, what I'm learning and what I already knew is grieving is not a linear process, and also not being in that environment has allowed more to actually come up. I thought I would kind of just step into this new life, take a deep breath and be like, okay, the really hard part is over. And maybe that's true, but there is a lot in there that I'm realizing hasn't been fully processed. And the other day I was really frustrated because I was like, I finally can start my life without this really heavy, difficult thing happening and occurring. And I felt like I had left a lot of grief behind me. And I started to realize, whoa, no, it's still with me. It looks different. I'm grieving different things, but I'm trying to build a new life. And what does that mean? Well, I would go out and take pictures of things to show my mom because she couldn't go out that much. And now I walk around and I don't really take a lot of pictures of things, but I look at stuff and know, yeah, I would have taken a picture of that to show her. And I'm like, man, but there's no point. She was the one person in my life that wanted to see all those little things. I was on a walk the other day and there was a tree that it looks like a cherry blossom tree, but has like huge flowers. I'd never seen one in my life. And I was like, oh, she would have loved that. And that's the end of that conversation. Part of the reason I'm telling you all of this is that it's normal to be grieving and creating new things. What I want to come across is that you can still create a life even if there's grief, even if all the things haven't quite been wrapped up with a nice bow, that you haven't left everything behind. A lot of my businesses actually have come out of a place of grief. Maybe not this deep of a grief, but it's interesting to just continue my regular life. And there's moments where it just sucks. That's it. You're experiencing something, enjoying something, and then there's just a little bit of a wave and you're like, okay, so this sadness exists with my joy right now, and that's okay. And I think that's the part that you have to remember is it's okay that there's going to be joyful things that have a little bit of sadness with them because of this grief, that some of the life that I currently live wouldn't exist without that grief happening. And that sometimes is heavy to carry. And it's something I can never share with her. I think she would be very proud of me, but she can never see this. It's okay to create the life that you want and carry grief. I want to explain a dream that I had. This was very shortly after she passed. In the dream, I was walking on the sidewalk and I was wearing like a big black jacket, like a pea coat. And she was walking beside me, and I was staring at myself as me and my mom walked past me. And as we walked past myself, suddenly my mom wasn't there, but I was still wearing the coat. And that coat is grief. And I have been able to take that coat off, but there's still moments where it exists. Don't let grief stop you from building a life that you truly want. There are things that are completely out of our control that will happen in our lives. And if you allow every negative thing to stop you, you won't go very far. Just know that you can do everything sad. And it's okay if you're sad doing it. I had client calls. I wasn't at my best. I felt sad. I'm not crying in the calls, but you know what I mean. There's just this heaviness that you carry. It's okay. Sometimes it's part of the process. Sometimes we don't get a fresh, perfect start like we want to. Sometimes we have to grieve in the new things because we are grieving the old things. And I would say that's more common than not. So don't wait for everything to be perfect to start something new. Yes, in times of deep grief, it's important to take a second and to realize you can't do everything you could before. It doesn't mean you won't be able to do all those things, but right now, you're probably more tired. You're probably not thinking as clearly, and that's okay. I just don't want you to stop building your dreams because there's grief. We all want a perfect moment. The perfect moment doesn't exist. It's the moment that you create. Is the moment that you want to do it, that you sit down and do it. It's not even that you want to, it's that you actually just sit down and do it. I never thought I would move out here. Yet I saw that it was the best thing for me. And it was the best that I started as soon as I could. It might have been 6 months after she passed, but it was as soon as I could manage to get out here, emotionally and physically. I know this is a particularly heavy topic, but it's important because a lot of us, this is how life unfolds. What is it that you actually want to do? Where do you want to start? Listening to your intuition, all of these things, these can still happen in the midst of letting go of the things from your last chapter. Sadness and joy can live in the same place at the same time. Allow yourself to accept that. It's going to make things a lot easier. You're not going to be resentful. You're not going to be frustrated. And understand that all of this is temporary. You're not always going to have that joy with a little bit of pain. There's going to be moments where that pain doesn't come. Don't let grief stop you from creating the life that you truly want. Yes, take some time, let it out, let yourself feel it, but don't make it the reason you're not moving towards the life that you want. You deserve that life. Creating big change in your life is going to feel weird, and there is going to be sadness regardless. So sometimes you're experiencing something that was sad prior to the change, but this type of change is going to create discomfort either way. What you're experiencing is normal. I know I've said this a million times in this video. Do it sad. I could not tell you how many times I am writing something, thinking about my business. I'm like, man, I am sad right now. It's okay. You can do things sad. Also, there are moments where if you're really sad, you need to stop and just let it out. Just let yourself cry. Let all of that out. Because a big part of this journey is accepting where you currently are. You can't move forward if you don't know where you are. It's like with my car, my GPS thinks I live across the street from where I actually do, so it sends me in the wrong direction constantly. But I look at the map before I leave now, and I'm like, here's where I am, here's where I actually need to go, because this directional thing is telling me the wrong way. So accept where you are, figure out where you are, and then you can move in the direction that you want to go. These are the things that I've learned when it comes to building something new in the midst of grief. If you feel like you need some help finding your purpose, finding direction in life after something difficult, or you're wanting to make a new change, or you're at this in-between of there's grief and creating new things, I want you to DM me. You can find me on Instagram at Rachel Tapp Coaching, and we can have a conversation. We can do a free consultation, and we can talk about all of these things that you want. It's okay to be sad. It's not going to always be like this. And it's okay to be really happy about the direction that you're going. You're not leaving those people behind. You're doing it for you. And I'm proud of you. And I will see you next week.